everyone, welcome back to Show Me How to Win. We're visiting Gamma Expo 2020 and we're at the AEG booth. Next to me is Josh Wood. He is the designer of your new game, Santa Monica. So Josh, well, I know you guys are a SoCal company, so Santa Monica makes sense. Is there anything that you want to tell me about the inspiration you have for Santa Monica?
Yeah, absolutely. I knew I wanted to make a game where you just make a beautiful tableau, and I went to the beach one morning, and I was like, this is just the perfect theme. No one's really made a game about building a nice little beach. I always like games where, even if you lose, you build something nice, so you go, oh, that looks pretty.
But we're here to win.
Yes, but we are here to win, and so I am going to teach you how to win the game.
Before we do that, this is a brand new game. So tell us, how do you play Santa Monica?
Yeah, so Santa Monica is a card drafting game for 2 to 4 players. There is a 2 rows of cards. On your turn, you can take any card from the front row and then put it into your town. There's 2 types of cards. There's street level cards, and they will go on to the bottom row of your beach. Or you can get ocean type cards, and then they will go on the top. Whatever card is drafted, it will refill from the back row, and then we'll draw a new card from the deck. When someone has 14 cards, that's the end of the game. Some cards will provide tourists. So this ice cream shop right here made 2 locals and 1 tourist. And then it wants to score 4 points if it's in a row with 3 shops. Some cards score for adjacency. And then people, what you're ultimately trying to do with them is move them at the end of the game into these rings. So for instance, this card says if I have 3 tourists in it, I get 4 points. So really I'm trying to get, 3 tourists to play badminton at the end of the game.
Okay. So how do we score points other than on the cards? Is there other ways to score points?
Yes. So everyone starts with a starting feature tile. For instance, this starting feature tile comes with this green meeple. And this is the Harmonica Daily. This is the fictional newspaper in this game. And he wants to go visit tourist and local spots so they can do some reporting. And so every single time the VIP moves onto one of the spaces that they like, you'll put one of these footprints down. And it's just a good way to get some bonus extra points to add to your score.
Okay.
Also, the game comes with these 3 scoring cards, these 3 goal scoring cards, and you play with a random 1 each game.
So some on the random scoring cards, 3 of these, right? So they're 2-sided. So there's 6 different versions.
No, there's 3 that come in the game. There's the blue one, the green one, and the orange one.
Okay, and then they tells us how to score on 3 different areas. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so the top one is always about how your waves are going to score. So some cards have waves, and so some want long waves, some want a bunch of waves just interspersed in your city. The bottom is always bonuses for either the activity rings or how the people that don't make it to activity rings score. That's where some negative points come in. And then the middle have to do with the different chains of cards or just kind of grouping cards from beach to streets like that. And
then also on each card, there's different score points on the card. So you score points based on what cards you lay down, but you also score points based on how they form a final tableau at the end, like the way you envision it, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So basically, on a turn, you start with just a cardboard tile, which is your starting location, and then you pick a card out of A, and then you play it. You can play on the ocean level, or you can play on the street level, and you can play on both sides.
Yes, and in fact, that's a great strategy because one thing that can get people caught up is that they're looking for a particular. They're looking for nature, or they're looking for stores, and then if you kind of branch out and and work on both sides, you can be looking for more than one type of card at a given time.
What are some of the other things that we should pay attention to, at the beginning of the game?
Yeah, so you definitely want to consider what your starting feature tile is. This one, for instance, is the hotel, and it gives you a shopper, and they want to go see a bunch of stores and touristy locations. They're happy to be in the town, but it's only the ones on the street. So they want to, you maybe want to build up a bigger street in those games. Where this person is a local to Santa Monica who's a runner, and they just want to run across the beach. So maybe you're going to focus a little bit more on beach. Like I said, the reporter here, you want to focus on tourist and local spots to do some nice reporting on. So you want to kind of keep that in mind.
So it sounds like depending on what your starting tile is, depending on the kind of special point condition you have, you want to go for those kind of cards. But what if sometimes other people are also going for that kind of cards, and when it's your turn, you just don't get the cards you want? What can I do?
Yeah, and that's a good point. So your VIP, they are not your only way you're scoring points. They are actually make up such a small fraction. You should almost look at them as just like gravy. You need to think about just what cards you're getting and how to work those. And then if you can get your green meeple to work, then you want to get them, going. But yes, having multiple paths to victory at any given time, thinking about more than one way to score points is the best thing. So if one of the 4 cards is not face up, then you have like a little alternative way to score points. Also, I will say that if there really is something that you want, I always suggest that people try to pick up sand dollars. Sand dollars, there's 4 that come in the game, and they are double-sided, so there's 8 total, and you play with 2 in each game. And they allow you to take cards in the back row or take multiple cards. And so they really come in handy when you can just kind of store them, and then you see, oh, those are the 2 perfect cards I need, or ooh, the best card I need is in the back row. Now I can get it. So I say it's good to get the sand dollars, but not to immediately spend them. Spend them when it's just the right time.
So sounds like I see some of these cards give you sand dollars, and so if you don't have any cards that you're particularly attracted to, but there is one that gives you a lot of sand dollars, maybe on that turn, just take that card instead, right?
Yes, and also in the game, if you ever take from the row where this food truck is, it will move over 1 space and you will get a sand dollar. And then this will allow you to move a person 1 space. And so it's good to sometimes think on those turns when there's not the best card to just grab from one of those so you can get that extra sand dollar or get that extra meeple movement that you're going to need to fill your reins.
Speaking of meeple movements, you mentioned it earlier. If I don't get my meeple to the right place, I lose points. So do you recommend not getting too many cards that has meeple on them, or just like make sure you get enough movements? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you definitely want to try to be balanced on getting the rings, and then also your people know what your plan is for that. But also don't worry so much. The negative points in this game are very minor, so don't overly stress. It's the beach. You just gotta chill out a little bit and have a good time.
Okay. Got it. But we're still playing a game, and I still want to win. So I want to have a good time and win, right?
Yeah.
So what is the best combination that you've seen so far? Like the biggest point getters? Like does it come more from the cards, or does it come more from for example, getting the waves?
Yeah, I think definitely you want to make sure you get a good, solid chain working of one type, and then you definitely want to focus on your waves. If someone is if people are ignoring the waves, what one of the best strategies to do is see what other people are not doing, and then just try and do it, because then you'll end up getting all the stores, or you'll get all the waves, and then you'll score big points off of that.
Yeah, you're right, because if everyone's going for the waypoint, then you're not going to get that wave card unless you spend your sand dollar to get multiple, right? But if everybody's trying to go for the same chain, then maybe, like you say, play it on the other side. If one strategy's not working out, everyone's seeing through you, then I have another side. I can start developing something new.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, so your favorite card, which one is it?
Okay, it is either the flour-based ice cream shop Scoopsy Daisies, or the one that's Randy's inspired, the famous Randy's donut in Santa Monica, or it's actually by the airport. But this is Dandy's Dapper Donuts, and he's got a cute little smiley face on them. Those are probably my 2 favorites.
Okay, cool. All right, Josh. So this game is brand new, right? When will people be able to actually get this in their hands?
So it'll be coming to the BGX stores April 4th, and then it'll be coming out at about a month or so later, to all retailers.
So April 4th.
Yes, April 4th.
Well, Josh, thank you so much for showing me how to play and how to win Santa Monica. And thank you guys for watching.